Hello, my name is Ailsa and today I'm going to do my January book haul video part 1. You might remember if you watched my reading goals and blogging goals video for 2018, one of them was that I had to read 2 books from my shelves before I'm allowed to add another one to my shelves. Let's be honest, that's gone pretty terribly already and we're only 2.5 weeks into the new month. Actually no, it's the 21st, so we're now 3 weeks into the new year. It's okay, there's plenty of time, we can fix this, but so far in January I've received 7 books between trading with my friends and being approved for things on NetGalley, and I went to a blogger event at Walker, and that's just a lot of books that I couldn't really say no to. So anyway, I'm going to start by talking about the 2 that I got from NetGalley. The first book is called The Night Lies Bleeding by M.D. Lachlan. This is published by Gollancz and comes out on the 22nd of February. This is a war book. I had assumed that it was set in the Second World War because it says the world is at war again, London is suffering from the German Blitz. But they don't specify that it's that war, so who knows. But anyway, I'm guessing it's Second World War. Set in London, and it is about a werewolf. To be honest, that was all I needed to hear. I am totally sold on the book and really excited to read it. I love werewolf stories and I love war stories, and I'm really excited to see how these 2 come together and what might happen. It says that it has some things about Norse myths in it and the end of the world, so altogether that sounded pretty awesome. Yes, I am really looking forward to getting started on that. Like I said, it comes out in mid-February, late February, so I'm not going to start on that quite yet. I'm going to read a couple of other things from my shelves first, but I'll probably start that around the end of the month. The other book that I was approved for on NetGalley is published by Orion, and that is called What Fresh Hell by Lucy Vine. This book is about a girl who has recently been to one of her friend's hen parties. She's finding out that another friend has got engaged, and I think yet another friend's just got engaged or become pregnant or something like that. And the main character is just not loving that experience with her friend. She's a bit fed up of it all, and I get the impression that there is something paranormal or fantastical going on there. I don't really know much more about it than that, but it sounded quite fun. That one, as I said, is published by Orion and it comes out on the 8th of March, I believe, early March anyway, so I'm going to probably hold off on reading this one until February, but I'm really looking forward to it. It sounds like it'll be a fun, light read. So yes, I'm excited to read that. The next book that I received was one that my friend Jim was giving away, and that is Doing It by Hannah Witton. Last year I started trying to read more non-fiction again, having not really read a great deal since I finished university. I discovered that I'm really enjoying reading contemporary stuff of all sorts, and this is a book about sex, basically, and it says, a book full of honest, hilarious, and sometimes awkward anecdotes, confessions, and revelations. And she's also got some friends to talk a bit about their sexuality and their experiences too. I think it sounds like a really interesting book, so I'm looking forward to reading that, and I do think that I will get to that one fairly soon. The next book is one that my friend Nick was rehoming, and that is Snakewood by Adrian Selby. Now, I have seen Adrian Selby do a reading from this book back in the summer or the spring, I think, at the Super Relaxed Fantasy Club, which meets in London on the last Tuesday of every month. I really enjoyed the excerpt, and I've chatted to Adrian there a few times since, and I really wanted to read the book. It is a fantasy, it's published by Orbit, and is available now. I think it came out in the summer. And yes, again, I'm looking forward to getting to read that. Then this past week, Walker Books held a blogger evening to talk about the YA books that they have coming out over the next few months. And they had goodie bags there with quite a few badges in, and also 3 different proofs for books that they are excited about. The first one is Flying Tips for Flightless Birds by Kelly McCaughrain? I hope that's how we say that. This is about 2 people who work on the trapeze in the theatre, 2 young people, and then one of them has an accident. I believe it's about friendships and growing up, and maybe a bit about sexuality from the description on the back. I'm not quite sure. I'm at an interesting point in my reading with contemporary YA fiction. I'm kind of fed up of reading YA books set in American high schools. I believe someone mentioned this was set in Ireland, although it doesn't say that on the back at all. But I might get to that very soon because it sounds a bit different. The next book that was given away at the Walker event is one that they didn't actually talk about at the event, so I don't really know much about it at all. But that is The Goose Road by Rowena House. This one comes out in April, and it is a war story. It's set during the First World War in France. Like I said earlier, I really enjoy books set during the World Wars. I think that it's one of those times that they were such devastating things that I really don't think that we should forget that. And I think it's important to have books to remind us of what everyone went through with such different experiences. People who stayed at home looking after property, women who found work on farms and things, taking over men's jobs, men who were working on the front. It had such a profound effect on people's lives. Such a terrible thing in so many ways, and I think it's really important that we don't lose sight of that. So I like the reminder in the books, and as this is set in France, I think that's going to be really, really interesting. And the final book is one that I'd heard a little bit of talk about online and was very curious to read, and that is White Rabbit, Red Wolf by Tom Pollock. And you can see this is a proof, so it says this story is a lie, which is its subtitle. Tom has written a previous trilogy that was sort of YA fantasy, bordering into adult fantasy, and I've read the first book in that trilogy and I have the second on my shelf. It was really interesting. This one is contemporary and a bit of a step away from his previous books. It's about a main character. It's a thriller kind of thing with a main character who gets panic attacks. Tom was actually in attendance at the event and read an excerpt from it when the main character, who I think is 17, I don't know if he has other things going on, the main character, apart from what's leading to his panic attacks, but he's very smart, and his mother gets kidnapped near the start of the story, or at least it appears she does from what I've heard. So I'm really excited to find out more about this and read about more people with mental health issues. It's always good to learn more about that. So those are the books that I've received in the past few weeks. I'm hoping I've so far this year finished 3 books, so I'm hoping to pick up speed a little bit so that I can actually stick more to my read 2 books before you get a new one goal. We'll see how that goes. I may have a part 2 January book haul, depending on how many I get in the next week or so. If not, then any extras will slide into a February book haul, and let's see if I can keep that a bit shorter, or at least read more books before then so that I'm allowed to buy new ones. So that is my book haul for today. If you have read any of these books, I'd love to hear what you think of them, or if you like the sound of them, or I'd also love to hear any books that you have picked up over the last couple of weeks that you're really excited about. And I will be back with another video next weekend. Bye!